Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The bold and the beautiful spoilers and updates reveal that Beth Spencer, Jordan Grace, and Kelly Spencer, Sofia Perez, might pose two devastating questions in the near future, possibly sooner than expected. Daddy Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, is on the brink of confronting his most sorrowful trial yet as he approaches a tragic conclusion. So let's discuss what could lie ahead. Naturally, there's still a chance for a miraculous twist as this plot unfolds, although at this point, it's going to have to happen very soon. Liam's condition is getting worse. In previous instances, other characters have been saved by unexpected interventions, so we can't completely dismiss the possibility for Liam just yet. However, we must also entertain the notion that Liam might genuinely be facing death, and no miracle will happen. B&B could be crafting this narrative with the intention of removing Liam from the story, all while providing a heavy dose of emotional turmoil. If this is indeed the direction they're taking, Liam and his family are in for a rough ride ahead. Liam is currently managing quite well, but the reality is that his brain tumor will continue to grow, leading to a decline in his health. Despite Liam's hesitance to share details about his condition, Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline Missinswood, felt it was important for Hope Logan, Annika Noel, to be informed. Therefore, Steffi took the initiative to find Hope and provide her with updates on Liam's serious situation. Steffi aims to ensure that Hope is ready for the challenges ahead, and they might also consider preparing their daughters for the changes to come. After all, Kelly and Beth will inevitably notice Liam's deteriorating condition as it unfolds. As the story unfolds, Liam will increasingly find it challenging to maintain a facade of normalcy in front of his cherished daughters. He has been experiencing troubling dizzy spells and severe headaches. The risk of him collapsing again looms larger as his inoperable mass continues to grow, particularly if he suffers a seizure. Eventually, Liam may need to have a tough conversation with Kelly and Beth. Steffi and Hope might encourage him to share the reality of his situation in a gentle, child-friendly manner. This could lead to Beth and Kelly asking two heart-wrenching questions. Are we really losing Daddy? And why can't the doctors fix it? The sun rose over Los Angeles with a sense of uneasy calm, casting golden hues across the sprawling Forrester estate and the cliffside homes where decades of love, betrayal, secrets, and legacy had played out. But on this particular day, it wouldn't be Ridge's torn heart, Brooke's desperation, or even Sheila's sinister plans that would dominate the narrative. Instead, it was the innocent voices of the next generation, Beth Spencer and Kelly Forrester, whose unfiltered questions would ignite a tidal wave of emotion that no one could prepare for. These aren't just children anymore. They are the mirror to the decisions their parents have made, some noble, some reckless. Their questions pierce deeper than any courtroom battle, more disarming than any slap in the Forrester Creations boardroom. What starts as a quiet afternoon playdate will evolve into an unforgettable reckoning for Hope, Steffi, Liam, and even Ridge. Act I, a playdate with a twist. At the Forrester guest house, Beth and Kelly sat cross-legged on a soft white rug, surrounded by dolls, building blocks, and art supplies. The serenity of their innocent chatter seemed a world away from the chaos that swirled around their family tree. Steffi had dropped Kelly off early, still in a rush from a last-minute meeting with Ridge about the latest Forrester International show. Hope, trying to juggle a phone call with Thomas and helping Beth color inside the lines. "Mommy," Beth said, lifting her gaze from the drawing she'd been working on. "Why don't I live with Daddy and Kelly like a real family?" Hope froze. Beside her, Kelly looked up too, innocently chewing the end of a crayon. "Yeah," she added, "why can't we all be a family? Like before?" Hope blinked rapidly. Her heart raced, the edges of her vision slightly blurred as she tried to process the question. Beth had never asked this so directly, and the way Kelly had joined in, with a hint of longing and confusion, cut even deeper. You both have families who love you very, very much, Hope said softly, brushing Beth's curls back. But sometimes families look different. But Daddy goes back and forth, Beth said. He's always rushing, he's always sad. And Mommy cries in the bathroom, Kelly added. Hope didn't know whether to laugh, cry, or run. What had started as a simple playdate had now become a full-blown therapy session, hosted by two kindergartners armed with emotional grenades. Act I. Liam walks into a storm. Later that afternoon, Liam showed up with takeout containers and a hopeful grin, completely unaware of the emotional thunderstorm brewing inside. Daddy! Both girls screamed, running to him. He hugged them tight, basking in the uncomplicated joy of being their father. But the moment didn't last long. Daddy, why don't you pick one, Mommy? Beth asked bluntly. Liam almost dropped the bag of food. Yeah, Kelly added, like in movies, the prince picks one princess. Hope stood in the doorway, arms crossed, watching his reaction with unreadable eyes. Liam stammered. Well, sometimes things aren't that simple. But you used to love Mommy, Beth said, and Aunt Steffi too, right? Still do, Kelly chimed in. That was the moment Hope walked forward. This is the confusion we've caused, she said flatly. They're not just asking questions, Liam. They're hurting, they're watching, and they see everything. The weight of her words, and the truth behind the children's innocent voices, hit Liam like a ton of bricks. Act I. Steffi learns the truth. Meanwhile, Steffi stood in the Forrester CEO office, scrolling through fabrics and sketches with Zend. She tried to concentrate, but her mind kept wandering to Kelly. She hadn't forgotten the way Kelly clung to her leg that morning, asking, Mommy, will Daddy live with us soon? A question so out of the blue, it stayed with her all day. Later that evening, when Steffi came to pick up Kelly, Hope gave her a look. We need to talk, Hope said. Steffi braced herself. Hope recounted the questions, every word from Beth and Kelly. Steffi's expression shifted from concern to heartbreak, and then to guilt. They're smarter than we give them credit for, Hope replied. They see the indecision, the constant shifts, and now they're wondering what's wrong with them that we can't give them a real family. Steffi sat down on the couch, defeated. They're too young to carry this weight. Act IV. The family meeting that should have happened years ago. The next day, Ridge, who'd caught wind of the children's confrontation through Brooke, called an emergency family meeting. I know how this sounds, Ridge said to Liam, Hope, and Steffi as they sat in the Forrester living room. But if our kids are walking around with these questions, this family's already failed them. Brooke nodded. Beth told me she thinks love is temporary. That people just switch mommies and daddies. That was the last straw. Even Liam looked sick to his stomach. I've created this chaos, he admitted. My indecision, my fear of choosing, it trickled down. Hope spoke up. No, we all contributed. Every time we let our egos win. Every time we use the girls to justify our own confusion. Steffi added, and every time we assumed they weren't listening. The room fell silent until Ridge said something none of them expected. I want you to bring them here tomorrow, he said. Beth and Kelly. They need to see us sit down. Talk. Show them that love doesn't mean instability. But what if we don't have answers yet? Liam asked. Ridge replied, then tell them that. With honesty. They deserve that much. Act B. The sit-down. The next morning, Beth and Kelly sat on the big living room sofa at Eric's house. Steffi on one side, Hope on the other. Liam knelt in front of them. Girls, Hope began, her voice shaky. You asked some big questions yesterday. And we've been thinking about them ever since, Steffi added. Because you're right to ask. We love you both more than anything, Liam said. And you're never going to be in a home where people are yelling or fighting about who loves who more. But you're right, Hope continued. You've seen us be confused, you've seen us cry, and that's not fair to you. So we're making changes, Steffi said. Clearer routines. More time where you feel safe and heard. And we're going to keep talking, Liam added. Not behind your backs. With you. Kelly looked up, teary-eyed. Will we be okay? Yes, Steffi whispered, pulling her close. Because now we know better. Beth leaned into Hope's side. Promise? Hope kissed her forehead. Promise. Act vitae. Echoes of truth and future possibilities. Later that evening, after the girls had gone to bed, the adults remained in the Forrester kitchen, quiet, contemplative. No more triangle, Hope said bluntly. Not for them, not for us. Agreed, Steffi nodded. Liam stared down at his tea, then up at both women. I love you both, but I need to love myself enough to stop repeating this pattern. I need to grow. Hope offered a small smile. Do that, for you, for them. And then they sat in silence, not bitter, not angry, just united in a new mission. It wasn't about who ended up with Liam anymore. It was about building a foundation solid enough for Beth and Kelly to grow up believing in love again. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Boldy and BAUTFUL UPDAT YouTube channel for more update news.